So, many of my friends, after viewing my first vlog post, asked me about Doctor Who or suggested that I do a post about Doctor Who, so I guess I probably ought to just go ahead and do that now and get it out of the way. Doctor Who is a science fiction drama television show made in Britain, broadcast on BBC, or if you live in the United States like I do, BBC America. It's existed since 1963, and it tells the story of a 900-year-old alien. His name is the Doctor. He's a Time Lord. He comes from the planet Gallifrey, and basically all of that just means that he can travel through time using this ship called the TARDIS, and he can regenerate. Now, you're probably thinking, slow down. What is a TARDIS? Is that even a word? And what's regenerating? What do you mean regenerating? TARDIS is not a word. It's an acronym. It stands for Time and Relative Dimension in Space. The TARDIS is the Doctor's combination spaceship/time machine. It looks like a police box. Like this. Now, normally the TARDIS would be able to change shape and size on the outside to match the surroundings that it landed in. So, if it landed in the 1800s, it would look like something from the period, not a 60s police box. But the chameleon circuit in the TARDIS is broken. That's what allows it to change shape, and so therefore it doesn't change shape, it stays in the shape of a blue police box at all times. The Doctor doesn't die. Instead, he just regenerates. Every atom in his body is reordered to create a new version of himself. He has all the same memories, the same knowledge, the same skills, but a slightly different personality and a completely different appearance. In the context of the real world, this just means that a new actor has come on to play the part of the Doctor. The current Doctor is his 11th incarnation. He looks something like this. He is the 11th Doctor, or 11 for short. The Doctor typically travels with companions. These are usually human characters, although not always. They're almost exclusively female, although there are occasionally male companions, but usually when there's a male companion, they are somehow related to the female companion, whether it's they're married, they're dating, they work together, something like that. They're always tied to the female. There's always a female companion. The current companions are Amy Pond, Rory Williams, and River Song, whose backstory I won't reveal because spoilers. Doctor Who was on in its classic incarnation from 1963 into the early 80s. It was then cancelled. In the 90s, a made-for-TV movie was made featuring the only appearance of the 8th Doctor. Then, in 2005, Russell T Davies revived the series and introduced the world to the 9th Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston. Davies was the executive producer and head writer of Doctor Who until 2009 when he handed the reins over to current head writer Stephen Moffat. At the same time as the writing changed, the 10th Doctor regenerated into the 11th Doctor, and so Doctor Who went through a complete overhaul in 2009 and now leans more toward dark storylines, deep plot arcs, and repetitive trolling of the fandom, courtesy of Stephen Moffat. All Who from 2005 to present is commonly referred to as New Who, and everything pre-2005 is referred to as Classic Who. Doctor Who fans are generally referred to as Whovians, thus my use of the term Whovians in my previous video. Now, the reason I'm a Whovian is that the show is one of the most compelling, inventive, emotional pieces of television I've ever seen. Because of the nature of the Doctor's character, the powers of the TARDIS, and the great writing staff it attracts, Doctor Who can literally go anywhere in space and time. In the course of one episode, the Doctor can be in modern-day Britain visiting friends, take a trip to Nazi Germany, hold Hitler hostage in a cupboard, and then end up inside a futuristic robot powered by miniaturized people. There's almost never a dull moment on Doctor Who, and when there is, fans are always ready to engage in intelligent outcries about it. It's like Charlie McDonnell, who actually sparked my interest in the show via his video, which I will link below in the doobly-doo. It's like he said in his video on the show, Whovians are like mini-TV critics in the way that they evaluate each episode and accept them all, good and bad. It's like Charlie McDonnell said in his video about the show, Whovians are like mini-TV critics in the way that they evaluate each episode and accept the good and bad of all of them. When I got to OU, I didn't think I'd find any other Whovians, so I invited the first good, intelligent friends that I met over to watch an episode with me. They were both absolutely blown away by the show and commented on its emotional depth, unpredictable storylines, powerful use of orchestral score, and general enjoyability. In fact, my friend Olivia was brought to tears by the second episode she ever watched because she had already become so attached to the characters. While some people, including my family, are turned off from Who because of its outlandish sci-fi plotlines, I'd like to point out to prospective new Whovians or just curious non-fans that at its heart the show is really a dramedy about an adventurous man trying to make the universe a better place through the use of intellect, childish innocence, and humor rather than violence. I realize this has run incredibly long, and I'll probably cut it down a bit, but if what I've said about the show makes you want to try it out, I strongly suggest you either start watching at the very beginning of New Who, with the Ninth Doctor's first episode from 2005 called Rose, or you can easily start at the beginning of the fifth series. They're called series, not seasons, because that's how Britain works, but the beginning of the fifth series with the 11th Hour, which is the beginning of the 11th Doctor's tenure. As always, feel free to post responses if you agree with or disagree with what I've said, and subscribe if you enjoy listening to me ramble about things. I promise my next video will not be about Doctor Who, for those of you who aren't into the show, but I don't see why you wouldn't be. But anyway, thanks. Bye.